Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 at 6.
We begin tonight with breaking news. A Grants Pass man is facing federal charges for trafficking fentanyl. Thanks for joining us for NewsWatch 12 at 6. I'm Haley Gravitt. He was carrying enough fentanyl to kill 200,000 people, more than the population of Grants Pass and Medford combined. Christopher Smith had been allegedly selling fentanyl from his Grants Pass home for at least the past year. In the raid into his home, 400 grams of fentanyl were found, 2 digital scales with fentanyl residue, 2 3D printers along with 3D printed ghost guns, and 74 other guns also found on the property. In developing news tonight, Eagle Point leaders are considering a major expansion of the city's urban growth boundary. Damian Alvarado talked to residents who are concerned that the project could strain roads, schools, and police, all while changing the character of the community.
I'm here near Alta Vista, where many Eagle Point residents are pushing back against that 50-acre urban growth boundary expansion. Many of the residents' concerns include more traffic and a huge shift away from that small town feel that they've grown to love.
My concerns here today are about the amount of density creating traffic problems in this area.
In Eagle Point, rows of homes are going up and more could be on the way. Resident Mike Mooney lives off Alta Vista Road, where he says more high-density housing could be built under a proposed expansion of the city's urban growth boundary.
This is going to create a huge traffic nightmare on a 2-lane boulevard that feeds Highway 62.
City leaders say the expansion is part of a one-time opportunity from the state Senate Bill 1537 to address Oregon's housing crisis by fast-tracking certain projects. Eagle Point was granted over 1,200 acres of reserve land more than a decade ago. None of it has been used until now.
There's no way that you can have development of this scale and not affect the livability and the atmosphere of the area. You start talking about a mass development of 500 units on top of the other 350 units already being built. That's a game changer.
Councilors discussed proposal during a March 11 meeting, with most voicing support for a development known as Proposal 3. One councilor, Lena Beach, opposed it, worried about impacts on roads, water, and policing. The city has not responded to our questions, but will hold a public hearing May 27th where residents can weigh in. Reporting in Eagle Point.
It's not in the best interest of this community to see such a development.
I'm Damian Alvarado.
And let's check in tonight with Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman for a look at our conditions for this Wednesday, Matt.
Well, definitely some brighter skies to end out the day. We definitely did have our fair share of clouds, though, earlier on this Wednesday. There were a few sprinkles and light showers impacting parts of the region, but the big thing is we've stayed with these cooler temperatures. Readings today still well below normal for this time of the year. Right now 65 degrees in Medford, it's 60 in Mount Shasta, and 57 right now in Klamath Falls and Gold Beach. Now we're going to continue to see things clear out for the most part as we move into this evening and tonight. Expect an even colder night than last night heading out the door for your Thursday. But we have another storm system we're watching off to the north and west. It's a little bit more intimidating looking than it really is. We'll see clouds increasing through the day tomorrow. There will be at least the slight chance for some showers, but any wet weather later in the day tomorrow, not really going to add up to all that much. Temperatures around the region right now, it's 60 in Mount Shasta. We're sitting at 59 in Lakeview, 49 degrees in Chemult, and we're at about 60 currently in Brookings. Winds are breezy for the coast and then also in the Shasta Valley and over on the east side. We do have some gustier conditions for the coast, a gust up over 30 miles per hour in Crescent City, 28 miles per hour in Montague. But winds will back off from most spots tonight. It's going to be chilly, down to 39 in Grants Pass, 30 in Klamath Falls. And then tomorrow, clouds will go on the increase. It will be a little bit milder in the afternoon, but with winds picking up, you will definitely notice a little bit more of a cool down, and clouds will be definitely on the move and increasing. The potential is there for some late day and even evening light rain showers. We'll talk more about that shower potential for tomorrow and details on a bit more of a seasonal day when it comes to temperatures to end out the work week on Friday coming up.
On an update, the driver in a Friday wreck that left a truck in a building has now been arrested and charged with a DUI. Last week, we told you about the vehicle that crashed into the side of a Medford dental clinic. Now, 43-year-old Philip Hill is facing 4 charges, including assault, reckless endangering, and DUI. This comes after the Serious Traffic Accident Reconstruction Team completed their investigation. The wreck left one employee in serious condition. She remains in stable condition. Philip Hill is in the Jackson County Jail. A closer look at this story can be found on our website, kdrv.com. And before we see an influx in summer traffic, Rogue Valley residents are already showing concerns over a string of recent car crashes. NewsWatch 12's Rocky Walker gives us a look into the crashes with some exclusive footage.
Along the I-5, Medford is known to have cars driving in and out constantly, but a recent string of car crashes has left many residents startled. Oh my! Look at this video. A car slamming into a fence, crashing onto a Medford property. And this isn't an uncommon occurrence.
I was sitting on my couch when I heard the loudest boom I could possibly hear. I ran outside, and before I even seen it, I knew what it was because it's happened so frequently.
She says it happens on the corner every couple of months, but her experience with car crashes doesn't stop at the corner of Columbus.
I have moved because of it. A couple years ago, a car crashed through my house, and I literally thought I was going to die that night. This general area is really bad. It's known for its car accidents.
Just one in a recent rash of car crashes, 3 of note in the past day, including a severe crash on I-5 in the late hours of the night. And a crash where a semi barreled into a Department of Transportation truck that was on the scene.
We had 2 crew members in the truck who did receive minor injuries. They were checked out at the hospital, and fortunately they were able to go home.
These photos showing the extent to that crash, a case Denny says is not out of the ordinary.
This is something that happens so frequently that in some ways our crews start to minimize what that's like because it has become normal to them, and we want to change that.
In 2023, there were nearly 600 crashes in work zones, resulting in 10 deaths and 43 serious injuries. Denny and Galea saying the community has to listen.
We really hope that people understand the gravity of the situation.
If people could just slow down and pay attention, we would have less car accidents like we saw today.
In Medford, I'm Rocky Walker.
And new at 6 tonight, nearly 3,000 trees are being planted at Siskiyou Mountain Park today to become tomorrow's forests. Ashland Fire and Rescue and Grayback Forestry are planting these pine trees, which were donated by BLM in Medford. They replaced the thousands of dead and dying Douglas fir trees that were removed in recent years. As hardier and more fire-adapted trees, they will help local forests adapt to the shifting ecosystems. And today, the city of Ashland officially adopted its 2025-2027 budget. While staff say there's no major impact right now, they're now exploring options to avoid having the unapproved minutes finalized years from now by a different committee.
I move to approve the City of Ashland 2025-27 biennial budget as proposed and recommended.
The budget passed less than an hour ago, setting spending plans for the next 2 years. City staff will now look at ways to resolve the issue with unapproved meeting minutes, though they say nothing substantive will change in the meantime. Coming up tonight at 11, we'll take a closer look at what's in the new budget and how it could impact Ashland's park and recreation. The Applegate Fire District has secured over $1.1 million for community safety and wildfire resilience projects. The money is coming from the Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Funding. Through the Planning, Infrastructure, and the Economic Revitalization Program, the grant money will go towards the expansion of Station 51 to enhance wildfire resiliency in Jackson County. And 12 grave wolves have been captured, collared, and released back into Northern California. California Fish and Wildlife said more wolves are being tracked because of this project. 2 of the wolves collared are from the Whaleback Pack in Siskiyou County. The satellite collars help CDFW manage and research the population and can help reduce livestock depredations. And that was a slow-mo moment of you to show when the wolves were released. These wolves were helicoptered in to wolf biologists for blood testing and collared. We'll get a close-up here and you can see the wolf's tail hanging out of the bag while it travels. The collars will last for 3 years. During that time, scientists can really track the packs to see how far they travel and how often they do leave their pack. And tomorrow, Siskiyou County will have representatives at a California Fish and Wildlife Game Commission about wolves and a potential change to coyote management. More information can be found on kdrb.com. And a reminder for tomorrow, Jackson Alert will be sending their annual pre-fire season test alert. If you've signed up for Jackson Alerts, you will be receiving a text, call, email, and app notification at 10 a.m. The mass notification test will conclude at noon. Jackson Alerts replaces the former Citizen Alert system. And get ready to set those alarms because we have an exciting sneak peek opportunity. I mean, just look at this show here. At 6:30 tomorrow, you can catch the Coppertown Clown and his dogs on NewsWatch 12 this morning ahead of their performance in the Jackson County Wild Rogue Pro Rodeo. The rodeo begins tomorrow at the Expo and will run through the 17th.